Good morning all of you. Hope everyone doing well. In the previous classes we have learnt about periodic property atomic radius. In this class we are going to discuss the next periodic property ionization energy or ionization enthalpy or ionization potential. Okay, let us discuss what is ionization energy. In atoms there is a force of attraction between nucleus and the valence electron. This is valence electron, that means outermost electron. There is some attraction force between nucleus and electron, right? That means nucleus attract these electrons with some force. Okay, now if you want to remove this electron, we need some energy, right? That energy is known as ionization energy. Simply says, what is ionization energy? Energy required to remove electron. That electron is outermost electron, valence electron. Okay, to remove valence electron, some energy is required. That energy is known as ionization energy. But here, remember one thing, the atom should be isolated atom, neutral atom, gaseous atom. Okay, so what is the exact definition for ionization energy? Amount of energy required to remove outermost electron from isolated neutral gaseous atom. So this is known as ionization energy. Okay, for example, if M is a gaseous atom, isolated neutral gaseous atom, now from this atom you can remove one electron. If you remove one electron, which ion is formed? Positive ion is formed, right? Known as cation. One electron. So this energy is known as ionization energy or first ionization energy. Remove electron from isolated neutral gaseous atom. Isolated means individual, and neutral, and should be gaseous atom, not solid, not liquid. So that energy is called as ionization energy. Okay, and also known as first ionization energy. Okay, see, now if you want to remove one more electron from the unipositive ion, again some more amount of energy required, right? And forms M2 plus. Okay, plus one electron. Now here energy is known as second ionization energy. Here you remove electron from isolated neutral gaseous atom, that energy is known as first ionization energy, and forms unipositive ion, right? From unipositive ion you remove one more electron, then some amount of energy required. That energy is known as ionization energy, second ionization energy. Okay, again if you want to remove one more electron from dipositive ion and forms tripositive ion, M3 plus, again some amount of energy required, right? So that is IE3, third ionization energy. Now tell me, which one highest energy, which one lowest energy, IE1 or IE3? IE1, IE2, IE3. Tell me, is this less than or greater than? Second ionization energy more than first ionization energy, and third ionization energy more than second ionization energy. Again fourth ionization energy more than third ionization energy. Okay, like that. If you remove one electron, that means successive electron, then ionization energy increases. What is the reason why increases? For suppose this is nucleus, right? Nucleus. Now nucleus attract the valence electrons, 5 valence electrons. Okay, now you want to remove one electron, you can use some energy, that is IE1. This is IE1. Okay, by using some energy you remove this electron from the attraction of nucleus atom, from the atom. Okay, so this is IE1. Now again the nucleus attraction on the valence electrons increases or decreases? Increases, right? Now you want to remove one more electron. Okay, now this is IE2. Now tell me, this is IE1. Where more energy required? Here more energy required, right? Why? Nucleus attraction more. Okay, now again nucleus attraction very strong on valence electron. Again you want to remove one more electron. Now energy, this is third ionization energy. Okay, third ionization energy is more than second ionization energy, right? Why? Because nucleus attraction very high. Now 2 electrons are there. Now nucleus very strong attraction on 2 electrons. Okay, now if you want to remove one more electron, high energy required, that is IE4. That means if you remove one electron, successive electron, for every successive electron, ionization energy increases. Reason, what is the reason? Z effective nuclear charge increases on the valence electron. Okay, hence more amount of energy required. That's why IE1 less than IE2 less than IE3 less than IE4. Okay, if you remove one electron, then nucleus attraction on valence electrons very strong. That's why IE2 more. Again you remove one more electron, again nucleus attraction increases. That's why more amount of energy required. So IE1 less than IE2 less than IE3. Okay, so what is the reason? Effective nuclear charge, Z effective increases. Clear? Next one. So what are the units for ionization energy? Electron volt per atom. Units are kilocalorie per mole or kilojoule per mole. Units for ionization potential, electron volt per atom or kilocalorie per mole or kilojoule per mole. 1 electron volt is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. So finally we learnt what is ionization energy and what are the units for ionization energy and why IE1 less than IE2 less than IE3. Okay, next one we are going to discuss factors affecting on ionization energy. The first factor that affecting ionization energy is size of atom. If size increases, distance between nucleus and the valence electron increases, right? If distance increases between nucleus and valence electron, then the force of attraction of nucleus on valence electron decreases. Then required less amount of energy or more amount of energy to remove? Yes, less amount of energy required because force of attraction less. If size of atom less, then distance between nucleus and valence electron less. Then nucleus attract the valence electron very strong. Then more amount of energy required to remove electron. So finally ionization energy or ionization potential direct inversely proportional to size of atom, right? Ionization energy inversely proportional to size of atom. For example, if you can take 1A group elements, alkali metals, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, alkali metals, top to bottom size increases, right? Size increases. Then ionization energy decreases, right? Ionization energy decreases. Okay, which one largest size? Cesium. So that's why here ionization energy less, because size more means distance between nucleus, shell 1, shell 2, shell 3, shell 4. Okay, lithium, electron, valence electron present in second cell, sodium third cell, potassium fourth cell. If distance increases, attraction between nucleus and valence electron decreases, then less amount of energy required to remove the electron. Here cesium, second cell, third cell, fourth cell, fifth cell, sixth cell. The valence electron present in sixth cell, so distance very high. Okay, so less attraction of nucleus on the valence electron, so you can remove electron easily. For suppose if you want to remove electron from lithium, in lithium electron present in second cell, distance less, strong attraction on this electron. If you want to remove this electron, more amount of energy required, because very strong attraction, right? Because size less, lithium size less comparatively cesium. Okay, so that's why here lithium high ionization energy, cesium low ionization energy. Hence order lithium greater than sodium greater than potassium greater than rubidium greater than cesium. So this is the ionization energy of 1A group elements. Similarly, second A group elements, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. Okay, alkaline earth metals, left to right size increases, barium large size, beryllium least size. Then ionization energy decreases, right? So ionization energy, beryllium high, barium less. Ionization energy, beryllium greater than, magnesium greater than, calcium greater than, strontium greater than barium. As barium size large, ionization energy less. As beryllium size less, ionization energy more. Okay, so this is the first factor affecting ionization energy. Next one, second factor, nuclear charge. Already we discussed, as nuclear charge increases, force of attraction between nucleus and valence electron very high, then removing electron difficult. That means more amount of energy required. So ionization energy directly proportional to nuclear charge, right? Okay, as nuclear charge increases, ionization energy increases. Nuclear charge increases, ionization energy increases. More the nuclear charge, more the attraction, more will be the difficult, more amount of energy required. Okay, next, third one, screening effect, important, or shielding effect. In atom, electrons present in the valence shell and also electrons present in the inner cells, right? Electrons present in the valence shell as well as electrons present in inner cells. See, this is outer shell, this is inner shell. Okay, in the outer shell electrons present, inner cell also electrons present. Both the electrons carrying same charge, right? That means similar charge. Similar charge means they can attract each other or repel each other. Yes, repel each other. Opposite charge means they can attract, but similar charge, same charge, so they can repel. So this electron repel this electron, again this electron repel this electron, this electron repel this electron. Okay, so there is a repulsion between inner cell electrons and outermost electron, valence electron. So repel means away from each other or close to each other, away from each other, right? Repulsion means away from each other. So this electron away from the nucleus, right? Due to repulsions by the inner cell electrons. So this electron somewhat away from the nucleus. Then nucleus attraction on this valence electron decreases, right? Why? Due to repulsions between inner cell electrons and outermost electron, this electron some extent away from the nucleus. Then nucleus attraction on this valence electron decreases, right? So this effect is known as screening effect or shielding effect. Finally, what is screening effect or shielding effect? Decreasing attraction of nucleus on valence electron due to repulsions by the inner cell electrons. is known as screening effect or shielding effect. That means inner electrons act as screen. Inner electrons act as screen. They can shield outer electrons. They can shield outer electrons means they can protect outer electrons. Inner cell electrons protect outer cell electrons from the attraction of nucleus. How they can protect? By repel the outer cell electron. Inner cell electron repel outer cell electron, then this outer cell electron away from the nucleus, then nucleus attraction on this electron decreases. Due to what? Repulsions of inner cell electrons. Okay, that means inner cell electrons protect the valence electrons from the nucleus attraction. That effect is known as screening effect or shielding effect. Okay, so inner cell electrons act as screen. They shield outer electrons. Shield outer electrons nothing but they can protect outer electrons. Okay, so what is the shielding effect or screening effect? Order. Shielding effect: S greater than, P greater than, D greater than F. This is the screening effect order or shielding effect order. What is the meaning of this? In case inner cell electrons present in s and p orbitals, they can protect the valence electrons very much. So high shielding effect. High shielding effect. In case inner cell electrons present in the d and f orbitals, they are having poor shielding effect. That means they can't protect the valence electrons very much from the attraction of nucleus. Okay, in case inner cell electrons present in s and p orbitals, they can protect valence electrons very much. Then force of attraction of nucleus less. In case inner cell electrons present in d and f orbital, they are having poor shielding effect. As they are having poor shielding effect, they can't protect the valence electron from the attraction of nucleus. Then nucleus attract valence electron very much. For example, if we can take aluminum and gallium. Aluminum atomic number 13, right? Gallium atomic number 31. Electronic configuration: aluminum 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p1. Gallium electronic configuration: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d10, 4s2, 4p1. Right? Gallium atomic number 31, 2 plus 2 4, 10, 12, 18, 28, 30, 31. Okay, now here valence electrons present in fourth cell, right? Here electrons, valence electrons present in fourth cell. This is inner cell, right? 2s2, 2p6, inner cell. Here this is inner cell. Okay, here inner cell electrons present in which orbital? S and p orbitals, right? S and p orbital. But here inner cell electrons present in which orbital? D orbital, as well as s and p also. But more number of electrons present in d orbitals, right? Inner cell electron, d orbital. As s and p orbitals, shielding effect more. That means they can protect the valence electrons. These electrons, due to repulsions, they can protect the valence electrons from the attraction of nucleus. That means nucleus not attract very much the valence electron. Then aluminum size suddenly increases due to good shielding effect, high shielding effect of S and P. But in case of gallium, inner cell electrons present in d orbital, as d orbitals poor shielding effect, they can't protect the valence electrons from the attraction of nucleus very much. Okay, then gallium nucleus attract the valence electrons very strong. Then gallium size comparatively aluminum decreases. Okay, this is exception. In the atomic radius, this is exception. Actually, aluminum, gallium, atomic radius, boron, aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium. This is group elements. We expect boron less than, aluminum less than, gallium less than, indium less than, thallium. Already we discussed. In a group from top to bottom, atomic radius increases. But here exception. Actual atomic radius is boron less than gallium, less than aluminum, less than indium, less than thallium. Where exception is there? Gallium and aluminum. So aluminum more size than gallium. So size of aluminum suddenly increases. Reason? High shielding effect of s and p orbital. Inner shell electrons present in s and p orbital, as they are having high shielding effect. That means they can shield outermost electrons very much. That means nucleus attraction on valence electrons less. So they can protect the valence electrons from the attraction of nucleus, then size suddenly increases. But in case of gallium, inner shell electrons present in d orbital. As d orbitals, shielding effect. That means they can't protect valence electrons much. Then gallium nucleus attract the valence electrons very strong. Then radius suddenly decreases. Okay, so that's why comparatively gallium, aluminum more radius. Got it? Hope you understood finally what is screening effect. Finally, we can say simply screening effect is protection of valence electrons from the attraction of nucleus by the inner shell electrons. How inner shell electrons protect? By repel outermost electrons. Okay, this is screening effect or shielding effect. If screening effect increases, ionization energy. What effect ionization energy? Screening effect increases means nucleus attraction on valence electron decreases. Okay, that's why ionization energy decreases. More the shielding effect, less will be the nucleus attraction. So then amount of energy required less to remove the electron. So ionization energy inversely proportional to shielding effect or screening effect. Okay na? More the shielding effect, more will be the protect from the attraction of nucleus. That means nucleus attraction less. So we can remove electron easily. So amount of energy required less. So ionization energy inversely proportional to shielding effect. The shielding effect order S greater than, P greater than, D greater than F. So S and P orbitals more shielding effect, right? D and F orbitals poor shielding effect. Why S and P more shielding effect, D and F poor shielding effect? We can explain based on shape. S subshell spherical in shape, right? P subshell dumbbell, D subshell double dumbbell, So here size more, right? More diffuse. Comparatively S and P, D orbitals more diffuse, more size. For suppose this is nucleus, inner shell, outer shell. This is outer electron, inner shell electrons. Okay, inner shell electrons present in S and P orbitals. As their size less, right, they can repel more outer shell electron. Each electron repel more outer electron. So repel outer electron more means this electron away from the nucleus, and nucleus attraction on valence electron decreases. In case inner shell electrons present in D and F orbital, as D and F orbital diffuse more, that means more size, electron, inner shell electrons, more size, right? Comparatively S and P more size, they can repel less, not repel more. In case size less, they can repel more. In case size more, they diffuse more, repel less. Okay, so here repulsion less means this electron easily attracted by nucleus. Here repel more, that means this electron away from the nucleus, so less attraction of nucleus. Okay, understood? That's why S and P orbitals shielding effect more, D and F orbitals shielding effect less. So D and F orbitals diffuse more, so large size, so they can repel less valence electron. S and P orbital size less, diffuse less, so repel more, so they can protect the valence electrons much. Okay, so this is the reason. Next factor, penetrating power of atomic orbitals. What is penetrating power? Penetrating power or penetration power, nothing but moving towards nucleus. Okay, penetration, chachukkupovam, moving towards nucleus. So s orbitals and p orbitals having more penetrating power than d and f. This reason we can explain based on shapes, as s orbital and p orbital. S orbital spherical in shape, right? So that's why in any direction it can attract towards nucleus, any direction, as it is spherical shape. Okay, so less penetrating power d and f, more penetrating power s and p. That means if the valence electron present in s and p orbital, very difficult to remove. In case valence electron present in d and f orbital, easy to remove electron because penetration power less. So in case electron present in s and p orbital, they can easily moving, that means easily attracted towards nucleus, very difficult to remove. And d and f orbital, penetrating power less, that means not easily attracted towards nucleus, then we can remove electron easily. Got it? So this is penetrating power of atomic orbitals. Next one more important factor that affecting ionization energy, electronic configuration affect ionization energy. Okay, generally orbitals with off-filled orbitals, completely filled orbitals, generally stable. Okay, now tell me, is it remove electron difficult from stable atom or unstable atom? Yes, from stable atom removing electron difficult, and we can remove electron from unstable atom easily. But if the atom is stable, then very difficult to removing electron, more amount of energy required. Okay, off-filled orbitals. What are the off-filled orbitals? For example, p subshell. In the p subshell, the maximum number of electrons accommodate 6, right? Off-filled means p3. Off-filled d5. D subshell completely filled 10 electrons. Off-filled d5. F7 completely filled 14 electrons. Off-filled 7 electrons. Completely filled p6, d6, d10, f14. Right? For suppose nitrogen, oxygen. Nitrogen atomic number 7, electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Oxygen atomic number 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. In which atom there are off-filled orbitals present? Nitrogen, right? 2p3, off-filled. As nitrogen contains off-filled orbitals, nitrogen stable. Comparatively oxygen, nitrogen is stable. Then tell me, from which atom removing electron difficult? From nitrogen atom removing electron difficult, as it contains off-filled orbitals. But here 2p4, not off-filled, not completely filled. So that's why ionization energy of nitrogen greater than ionization energy of oxygen. Okay, so this one explained by electronic configuration, as nitrogen contains off-filled orbitals stable than oxygen, so more amount of energy required to remove electron from nitrogen. Clear? One more example. In the same way, if you compare beryllium and boron, beryllium 2s2, boron 2s2, 2p1. Okay, beryllium having completely filled orbitals, boron not having completely filled, not off filled, p orbital. Okay, here 2s2 completely filled, right? That's why beryllium somewhat stable than boron. So here remove a young electron difficult as it is stable. So that's why ionization energy of beryllium greater than boron, right? This result we can explain based on electronic configuration. Completely filled orbitals. Here not completely filled, not half filled. Okay now? Next one. We know helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. These are the inert gases. All outermost orbitals completely filled and they follow octet rule except helium. That's why no doubt inert gases are highly stable and more amount of energy required to remove electron from the inert gas. So that's why inert gases having high ionization energies among all elements. Okay na? So we discuss again later about inert gases, ionization energy. Got it? How electronic configuration affect ionization energy? So in case of filled orbitals or completely filled orbitals present, then ionization energy more as they are stable. Okay, next one.